Okay, all right. So this is going to be the part two to my video. So in the first part, I talked about how um Connie lost his moral high ground during the whole, not only the incident in Liberio. I do want to bring up this Liberio because not a lot of people mention this. When they were in Liberio, they were helping their friend kill people. Now, for whatever reason he did it, that's what they did. And Isayama masterfully planned this to where they were the good guys at first. They were pure as a driven snow. And then they went from that to being doing really, really bad stuff while remaining the same characters, especially Aaron, throughout the entirety of the series. So, yeah, just because again, a lot of people don't bring up the whole Liberio situation, but that is definitely a icky situation for all of them. But so I brought up how he lost moral high ground, and then I brought up the whole melodrama. How there's a weird part of the fandom that seems to love melodrama. They in 139 they want this. I mean, for goodness sakes, they have Aaron saying, "Oh, you weren't supposed to see that," as if it's a soap opera to Armin. I mean, that's soap opera stuff. That's stuff people say in soap operas, right? When have you ever heard anyone in Attack on Titan say something like that? But anyway, they wanted the whole moral argument and debate between Aaron and Armin. It was their last conversation as friends to be there, to be this mortal debate and jousting, even though Armin knew full well he wasn't going to change Aaron's mind. And then, of course, I mentioned that they want the alliance to chew Annie out and make this big scene and hullabaloo in the when she was eating the pie. Just for cheap drama, just for melodrama. They just want a quick piece of combative dialogue. Maybe they got bored because it wasn't a battle within the past 2 seconds. It wasn't a battle, so they got bored. So they wanted this combative dialogue to make up for until the next battle. I've always asked myself, how is this show popular? There's no reason for this show to be popular. It's so cerebral. It's so intelligent. It's so heavy. And not heavy because it's emotionally heavy. It's just heavy as in themes. Thematically, it's heavy. Why is this show popular? It seems like only something that fine individuals would partake in. And then I realized, oh, it has cool Titan scenes. And that's Captain Levi. That's why. And that's why people say season 2 is one of the worst seasons. Right? People really don't like season 2. And because, Captain Levi is out for most of it and it focuses on side characters. So they don't like it. Even though we have exceptional character building and things of that nature, people were angry about it because there's no Captain Levi. Of course, towards the end of the arc, there is some cool Titan fights, but I'm just saying the fandom is really, really, really bad. There's someone said, a very wise man once said, story 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. But I'm going to say 10 out of 10. Story 10 out of 10. Execution 8 out of 10. And honestly, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I give it 7 out of 10. Again, I love Isayama. You guys know this. I love Isayama, but honestly, considering 139, yeah, 7 out of 10. Story 10 out of 10. Execution 7 out of 10. Fandom 1 out of 10. That's just along the short of it. That is really, really the gist of it. I explained to you guys how that. Now I'm going to explain to the other line people are upset about, which is she's had enough fighting or something like that. You guys were upset, and you guys think that because she's a woman, she gets what they call it, princess treatment. Princess treatment, right? Yeah. So that's what we're talking about today. Oh, this is the same day, but that's what we're talking about. So this line is, of course, justified and good because she's been striving since she was 10 years old, and even before that, her father. Well, I don't know if Connie knew this or not, but whether or not he knew this, she was at the young age trained to be a Marley warrior by her dad, who used her for his own personal gain. after she was already known that she's been abandoned by her actual parents. She's then used by this man for her own personal gain. She's given a strict life with little to no love involved whatsoever. Then she's being used by the state to do their bidding and to do whatever they want her to do to uphold their empire. And it's over oil because their war machine was dying and they needed oil. Funny enough, again, as an American, I sympathize with Amy's plight. I mean, I don't know anyone in the army. Well, I do, but I don't know anyone who's like been seriously, or to my knowledge, has been seriously messed up because of oil. But as just an American citizen, seeing my fellow man, my compatriots, my countrymen being used for oil, I mean, I get that. But so she's been having her childhood stolen for oil, among other things. And then she then goes to Marley where she has to kill people. Now, at this moment, Connie already knows that she did not enjoy that happening. Okay, so at first he thought, oh, these people are monsters. They like doing this. This is what they wanted. Despite what Berthold said prior, I guess they just ignored Berthold. But then after he starts to mature more, he starts to torture people. He starts to help Aaron and Libera. Then he almost again killed Falco to resurrect his mother. So at this point, he's like, yeah, killing people is no joke. The only person who enjoys doing that is Zeke for obvious reasons. And so now he's like, man, this woman's actually not a monster. And then she comes and she's been in her crystal for a long time. And that's when he meets her after that. And that's why, and then, of course, sorry for the rude interruption. I'm going to work on my speaking. This is going to get better, guys, trust me. But then after he meets her at the thing, then she finds out that what she's been drunk on, because remember, again, every line, and I almost mean this literally, because honestly, every line, every scene is packed with so much depth and meaning, and it keeps getting revisited and revisited and revisited, that it's really hard to find a line that is not either incredibly meaningful, impactful, or revisited. So she's drunk on going home to her dad, right? And of course this was foreshadowed because we see her crying in the woods after Levi takes Aaron from her, which must have been that must have been a terrible moment for her. And again, Connie now knows this. And for those of you who are still stupid, let me explain to you what this is. She's been doing this thing her entire life, right? And then she finally outmaneuvers the best squad that she's ever faced. She outmaneuvers them at last. And then she has it in her mouth, and she's free. And at the last second, this midget fidget spinner comes in and takes it from her. Now, while it is still valid, while you still should, well, not should because they're fake, but while it's valid, and while you should still feel bad for Petra, Eld, Orlo, and the other guy, where did I get everybody? Jin? Is that his name? Anyway, the squad Levi, there's still, and Connie understands how she felt now. Now they have perspective, right? Because of how mature they got. And also recall when they're on the boat, and again, Mappa did an incredible job doing this in the anime. Because again, the anime, I've said this over and over again, completely different layer. You're reading at your own pace. In the anime, they pace it for you. That scene where Connie turns and then he shoots the guy. I don't know his name. They have names, and they were in the book prior. But the Mappa did a great job. He's crying. He did this. The camera comes at him. The music's there, and he slowly turns and he kills him. And he actually does kill him. They did an incredible job with that scene. And that scene, and this happens before they go onto the flying boat. Not the flying boat, but the actual boat. And that scene does an incredible job in showing the pain he's going through, and now has a better relationship with killing. Now he knows what the Warriors went through. Now he knows how the Warriors felt, right? And so he's already tired of fighting. He are again back since Liberio. He wanted to just fight Titans. He didn't want to fight Titans. He wanted to go to the military police. He didn't want to fight Titans, but he ended up fighting Titans. And then he ended up fighting human beings in Uprising arc. And then he ended up fighting innocent human beings. Or the line became much more blurred because we're torturing in peace. That's perfectly fine. We don't need it. That's fine. We can just torture in peace. The line became blurred. Like, oh, there's children here. There's other people here. There's people who've been lied to. And then it comes to his own friends who, for whatever reason, are supporting Eren. So now he's a better relationship with death, and now he's sick of it. He's only been doing this for this has been less than a year. He's been doing this. He's been doing this for less than a year. She's been doing this in her entire childhood. She's been doing this, and so now he understands. There's a better understanding of what death is to him. There's better knowledge. He sympathizes more. And then, of course, there's Armin. And again, him and Armin are tight. And so Armin, as well, probably expressed this to him. It is said that his Titan doesn't have ears because they don't want to hear the screams of the people he's killing. He's tired of fighting. But he has to keep moving forward. Now, Annie lost what she was drunk on. She was drunk and going home to her father, and then her father died. He's dead. And this, again, people, instead of praising Isayama, instead of giving him props or credit for what he has done, you instead decided to say that she's a bad arc. Instead of saying, wow, this person's character arc was hampered by the circumstances of the story, and he still found a way to give her a good arc. Instead of saying that, you instead decide to say that her arc is bad and that she's a trash character for whatever reason. But this is a great moment in her arc because now she can act. The reason, and again, nothing is wasted. So this Lionheart isn't thought dead just so that he can be dead or give a cute, quick little fake out. No, he's dead because she was drunk on going home to her father. Okay, that's what kept pushing her forward. And her character to go from, not want to say selfish, because I don't believe that protecting your family is selfish, but let's just say that she was acting in her self-interest, which she was. Going from a selfish character to being a selfless character requires her to lose that motivation, because if she would have done anything, it would have been self-serving. Stop Eren, it would have been self-serving, right? But instead of that happening, there's a golden opportunity to where her father is dead, and now she can act with completely free of self-interest, which she couldn't do before her dad was dead. Again, Isayama didn't just waste that and say, oh, ha, cute fake out, he's dead. No, he did it so he could complete her character arc. Because again, she said, and another thing I want to touch on is the people are also whining that she doesn't regret everything like Reiner does. And quite frankly, Barefoot doesn't regret anything either. But people are upset and whining and pouting and crying. What they don't understand is that this would have retconned her character. This would have actually assassinated her character. You people are so concerned with your melodrama and your cheap scenes and this and that. Listen, she said back in the training arc, very first arc, her dad was caught away in ideals that had nothing to do with the real world. Didn't she? And then it was revealed later that she said, F. Marley and F. Eldia, they're both bad. Russia, Ukraine. Sorry, something stuck in my throat. It must be monkeypox. And she, which means that from an early age, she had understanding, I'm not the good person here. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing this for an altruistic reason. I'm not doing this to save humanity, or even to save my country. I'm doing this because I want to get home. So for her to for her to regret it, if for her to say if she were to do it all over again, she would be for her to do it. For her to regret it, or her to say if she were to do it all over again, she would change her mind, would retcon her character. Again, I predicted that she would say this. Again, I really wish I had this on air, but I honestly knew that she was going to say that because she already knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing, right? But she still did it anyway. It's not like she was like, well, it's like she went in there not knowing what she was going to be doing, right? It's like you get drafted for Vietnam and all of a sudden you're out here setting fire to villages. No, it's like let's use the atomic bombs as an example. The two Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We knew what we were doing. Imagine the president got on. He was like, "Yeah, actually, I regret dropping those bombs. I regret dropping it. Like that'd be really strange, because we knew what we were going to do. We knew how many people were going to die. We knew what the goal was. We knew what that would accomplish that goal. And so to say that you regret it, say if you were to do it all over again, brings a question of, well, why? Right? Because it's not like she went in and they dropped the bombs and like, oh crap, some innocent people died. What the heck is this? I didn't mean for this to happen. She knew what was going to happen. She knew what was going to happen. She knew why it was happening. She knew who was wrong. She knew the right, and she did it anyway. So that's why she doesn't regret anything. And again, she's still drunk on going back to her father. So that's why that's why that line is perfectly reasonable, perfectly acceptable. That's why it's there. Isayama knows his characters, and you can be upset about it if you want to, but that's just her. And then, of course, she thinks he's dead, but she still moves forward. And that's why she doesn't want vengeance on Eren. Because, again, it was never about vengeance. Right? It's never about vengeance. Again, it's just like Eren. Again, Eren and Anna are similar at this point. Because he doesn't want vengeance either. When he's killing people, he's like, I'm doing this for a specific goal. Both of them don't enjoy it. But they're doing it for a specific goal. And they both see death as sort of a punishment because, see, Eren, when he's talking to Armin, sees his own death as a punishment for him killing other people. That's why when he says, there might be a third way, he's like, well, they didn't want to die either. So this is sort of what I get. Similarly, in the same vein, not only does Annie not want to fight Eren, but not want to take vengeance on Eren, because that would require strong feelings of hate. That would require her to be drunk on vengeance, and that would also require her to expend energy to kill him. She also sees it as, it's her own punishment for killing other people. So that's why she's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then that's why Connie says she's had enough fighting, because she has, and he has, and everyone on that boat has, and they're just ready to get out of it. And that's why, again, I've been saying, I didn't say this in public yet, but I'm going to say this in public now. They're just sinners trying to do the right thing. Every one of them, from Gabi down to Falco, down to Reiner, down to Eren. And that's why the first thing Connie says when Eren is dead is, did we do the right thing? Remember, none of the lives wasted. This is the final chapter, one of the final chapters. And he's asking, did we do the right thing? Because this entire time, that's what they were drunk on, doing the right thing. But they were all, again, this is why the chapter is named Sinners, because everyone in the plane is a sinner. And not just like a regular, like, oh, hey, I'm a sinner, you're a sinner, hey. No, we are murderers who kill children. That's how extreme it is. But they're like, you know what? Yes, we're bad people, but we have to put that aside. We have to put away differences. Who did what? Who killed whose mom? It doesn't matter. We're just trying to accomplish one good thing in our lives. So yeah, that's the explanation for those lines, and I hope that you understand now what was happening between those instances and those situations. Again, you're always welcome to leave a comment, negative or positive. Also, video suggestions are welcome as well. Yeah, that's about it. This has been Beluga the Jaegers, and have a good day.